Okay, guys, we're going on to the next lesson. It's on lesson 15, The Rise of the Minoans. Okay, when I was reading this, something really struck me or stuck out. What do you think it is? I don't know if you read it yet, but they had a type of entertainment that was pretty much an extreme sport. You know, I've watched bull riders ride bulls before, but I've never seen, as for a bullfighter coming up. Yeah, we have bullfighters today, but these bullfighters, they would actually somersault over the bulls. Kind of similar today, but it was extreme sport that started way a long time ago. We're talking about, again, about the time of Abraham. So we're talking about 2000 BC plus, that they had to have some kind of entertainment. So they took to the extreme sports. Kind of strange. But they were the Minoans. Maybe today when you go and watch bullfighters or bull riders, you'll think of them, huh? So, okay, where did we find this civilization? Well, let's look. And if you look on your map, you have to go back to the Mediterranean Sea. And as you look, you have to look around Greece, because it was a Greek island. There's one of the islands of Crete is it's actually the largest Greek island in the Mediterranean Sea. And so we have this guy, Sir Arthur Evans. Sounds like a knight to me. And in the 1800s, he went there because he was studying seals. But when he went there, he also was interested in archaeology. So he started to dig, and he, found and got a hold of the museum in Oxford in England, and they just started digging, and they found this enormous, place of different cities, 5.5 acres at first, and all these cities. And he named this whole civilization, which they had never heard of really before. He named them the Minoans, after the King Mino, which was a Greek legend. So he called them the ancient Minoans. And about 2000 BC, he thought that's about the time period they lived. Anyway, in 2000 BC, actually an earthquake happened, and so a lot of the different ruins that he had got damaged. They think it was a disaster. They're pretty sure it's an earthquake. It might have been some volcanic activity too. Right now, in that area, there's still a lot of earthquakes going on around the Greek islands. So it was very much of a part, we call it the Ring of Fire area, where earthquakes happen. So anyway, going on, these people, they were known for traded with Egypt. So about the time that Egypt was at its pinnacle with the pyramids and the pharaohs. And they also traded with Asia Minor and Syria. And many of the Minoans seemed to be pretty wealthy. They had excavated a great palace where they knew that very wealthy and royal Minoans lived. They also wrote in hieroglyphics, but they also had an alphabet, and they had all these writings with symbols. But guess what? They've never been able to crack that code yet and read those symbols. Maybe someday somebody will. Maybe you. Who knows? Well, going on, they also had this kind of artwork that is very known, throughout history from there, and they were called frescoes. They were wall paintings. So they painted people, dancing, sports, dolphins, monkeys, goats, wild snakes. They had all these things, these pictures, these paintings on their fresco walls. They had ivory statues and alabaster jars, which were only the wealthy could really have some of those things. As we know, ivory came from the tusks of elephants. They also had many gold rings. So they had a lot of gold and wealth there. These Minoans were very wealthy. They had all these beautiful things. But like I said, there also was disasters. And there was another second disaster that they think happened in 1720 BC. Knossos was the largest city, and it was on between two streams, and that's where they had the grandest palace of all. And in 1720, they thought, okay, this is probably when things kind of got destroyed during that time, and some of these people probably moved. But a great thing that you need to know is that they had a sewer system like we do, with drains and pipes and paved roads. So that was something new back then, to have a whole sewer system, you know? And they also had these tombs they called the Thalos tombs. They looked like big beehives. At first they were wondering, what are these things? They thought, were they storing things in there or what? And they opened them up and they found out that there were bones inside, and that's how they buried their people, in these weird beehive shaped tombs, and put them in the hillsides. And so they found a lot of these. Wow. So, as we go back, another ancient civilization appears during the time of Abraham. You know, we think of Babylon and Ur City and all that was going on, and some people say, oh, yeah, that was a time of like cavemen. Oh, I don't think so. These civilizations were pretty advanced, weren't they? So, here we go again, studying another ancient civilization in the island of Crete, a big island where they're centered the Minoans. So we're going to go on through history, but this was a long time ago, huh? Isn't it fun studying ancient cultures? I think it is. I hope you like it.